Good morning and welcome to KidNuz, sponsored today by Bamboo Learning. I'm Tori. It's Thursday, June 18th, 2020. And we begin with an iconic breakfast brand about to disappear from grocery store shelves. Quaker Oats is joining the widening conversation about race and bidding farewell to 131-year-old Aunt Jemima. Acknowledging that the character's origins are based on a stereotype, company execs are retiring both the name and the image tied to its pancake mix and syrup bottles. Revamp packaging with an as-yet unannounced logo will hit stores later this year. Pepsi, Quaker's corporate boss, isn't stopping there. It's pledging $400 million to lift up Black communities and increase company diversity. The makers of Uncle Ben's Rice and Land O'Lakes Butter are also rethinking their images and advertising. Don't take any wooden nickels is good advice unless you live in Tenino, Washington. The tiny rural town is taking a page from its past to help out residents whose finances have been pinched by the pandemic. Basically, the town is printing its own money, up to $300 per person, on an 1890s printing press. The currency comes out in thin slices of maple veneer and is accepted at local supermarkets and gas stations. Business owners can then use it to make their own purchases or trade it in for real cash at City Hall. Some merchants have even hit upon a third, more lucrative option: coin collectors trying to get in on a little piece of history. Arcade games, golf, and swimming are a go. High fives, fist bumps, and hugs, not so much. As the NBA prepares to resume play at ESPN Sports Complex in Disney World on July 30th, it's released an exhaustive 6-phase, 113-page handbook regulating even the tiniest aspects of a player's life. Athletes, coaches, and support staff of the 22 teams entering the bubble in Orlando, Florida, must quarantine alone for 48 hours until getting 2 negative coronavirus tests. After that, they'll be tested regularly, sometimes daily. Among the new rules, no showering in locker rooms, no sharing towels or deodorant, and no hanging out in friends' rooms. And while playing cards is allowed, players must toss out the deck after each game. On the plus side, hotels will be equipped with perks like video game lounges, pools, and manicurists. Did you know that tomorrow, June 19th, is an American holiday? Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, commemorates the day back in 1865 when news of the Emancipation Proclamation ending slavery finally reached Texas more than 2 years after it was signed. Due to recent events, more Americans are getting educated about the significance of the day, and major organizations are starting to recognize it. This year, for the first time, Nike, Twitter, and the NFL are making it a company holiday, and Target and Best Buy are giving workers the option of taking a paid day off. In Virginia, a state with a long history of slavery, all state workers will get tomorrow off with pay, and the governor is pushing to make it a permanent state holiday. How many hot dogs can you eat in 10 minutes? 1? Maybe 2? How about 74? That's the number to beat at this year's Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest. The competition is held every year at noon on the 4th of July at Coney Island. It normally attracts tens of thousands of spectators, in addition to the millions who watch live on ESPN. Due to COVID-19, this year's dogs will go down at a private location without a crowd. But you can still tune in and try not to hurl as 12-time champion and competitive eater Joey Chestnut attempts to break his own world record. That's it for KidNuz. A reminder, we're taking Fridays off in the summer. We'll be back again on Monday with a fresh new podcast. Now, our KidNuz quiz. When will the NBA season resume? On July 30th, with all games played in Orlando, Florida. What is the current world record for hot dog eating? 74 dogs in 10 minutes. What small town in Washington state is printing its own wooden money? Tenino, home to about 1,800 residents. What U.S. holiday will be celebrated tomorrow? Juneteenth, the day in 1865 when news of the end of slavery reached Texas 2 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. More recently in history, it was on this day in 1983 when Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. She rode the Shuttle Challenger as a mission specialist, a job for which she had to beat out 1,000 other astronaut wannabes. For more on Sally Ride's amazing life and accomplishments, say, Alexa, open Bamboo Luminaries. And in One for the Road, talk about a well-earned retirement. Sometime back, we told you about Diego, the 100-year-old giant tortoise credited with saving his entire species. During his decades-long service in a breeding program on the Galapagos Islands, Diego fathered approximately 800 offspring. This week, Diego was returned to his original home, an island off the coast of Ecuador, where he'll live out the rest of his life, which could be quite long. According to National Geographic, the oldest giant tortoise on record lived to the ripe old age of 152. Before we go, today's KidNuz birthday shout-outs go to Roger in Monroe, Washington, Harper in Melrose, Massachusetts, Avery in Austin, Texas, Noah in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Benjamin in Williamsburg, Virginia, Dahlia in Bristol, Connecticut, Camilla in Santaquin, Utah, Caden in Hillsboro, Oregon. Tomorrow, we salute Eli in Carborough, North Carolina, and on Saturday, Rudy in Wake Forest, North Carolina, and a California for Chelsea in Burlingame, and Laura in Manhattan Beach. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to try our Week in Review quiz on our website, and we'll see you back here for more Kid News Monday morning.